And what's up, guys? It's Monkey Bacon here from Sock Monkey Development. Today, we're starting a new series because I'm sorry that I've been so non-consistent on my videos. It's going to be us, and we're going to work together and walk through making a platformer, something that's been very much requested, especially on my Skype. Add me, Monkey Bacon. And I think it'll help because it'll help you guys, so you don't have to look up how to draw something every time. You'll remember because you'll be doing it over and over and over again, and you'll know it'll just be a good experience. And everything else I've said, like, oh yeah, we're gonna make this, we never really do. So now we're going to. Now it's a series all about it, and it's gonna teach you guys so much, and I am very excited. And again, I'm sorry, my videos are not consistent. Life seems to take over way too much. So, new folder. It's when starting the tutorial, guys. Okay. I'm sick, by the way, in case you couldn't tell. New folder. I'm always fucking sick. Jesus Christ. Tutorial. Call it tutorial. Or call it whatever. I'm calling it tutorial. And inside of there, we're going to contain all of our game files. We're going to need to make the first file that we always make. What is it, guys? Ha ha ha. It's main.lua. We're going to make main.lua. New file. Save it as main.lua. Inside of your big game file, of which mine is called tutorial. Save. Going way too fast. I'm stressing out right now. I'm trying to make these tutorials as accessible as possible so that somebody who's just starting can follow along and copy down things, and somebody who's experienced can still understand and learn stuff from it. So okay, we have folder. Inside of that folder is a new file called main.lua, which is empty currently, which is going to change. We're going to do the three main functions that you always use, which is love.load, function love.update, and function love.draw. Okay, so one more folder. We're gonna make a new folder, save it as config, conf.lua. It's a configuration file. There's gonna be one function in here, and this file you can forget about after we touch it because we're never gonna use it again. Maybe like once or twice more just to adjust and perfect things. And the function's name is gonna be called function love.conf. And then use t as an argument. Use t as an argument for love.update in here too. Yeah. So, gross. Don't do that, Gage. Stop. We're gonna set a few variables in here. We're gonna set the title, and it's gonna be called platformer. And we're gonna set the width, and that's gonna be. I'm gonna set mine to 1200. You can set yours to whatever you want, because maybe 1200 is too big or too small for your computer screen. So those are my variables. Feel free to set yours to anything you want. So we have our files, two basic files. We could run the game right now, and you could call it a game window. You couldn't really call it a game, but it would work. Something we're gonna do, which I like to do because it usually just makes my game easier. I feel like I like it better than a black background, is to set it to a background. Background color. Set it to 255, 255, 255. Now we can always change that, or we could set these to certain certain variables, and then we can change the variables to give it a cool background, changing color, and we're probably gonna do that later, but not right now. So now we're done. We're done with these two files for good. Almost. We're gonna add one more line into main.lua later, but don't even think about that. Stop thinking about that. We're gonna start with our player file right now. We're gonna make a new file. Oh my god, Gage, what are you doing? You're so crazy. New file. Save it as player.lua. So in here we're going to contain all the functions and the stuff we need to make a player. In this case it's going to be a little red box. Again, I do not plan these, so if I mess up, give me like 3 mess ups per video and I should be good. So we're going to make him an item, or a class, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it a table. So we're going to say player equals open curly bracket, close curly bracket. This just enables us to use something that is very helpful. You can say player dot something to make it look very organized, and I don't know, it just makes everything a little bit neater, in my opinion. It's kind of a personal preference. You don't have to do this, but I would suggest you do for this tutorial. And something different that I haven't done in past tutorials that we're going to do in this tutorial, and I'm going to take a second to pause and explain it right now, is we're going to put all the variables that we're going to set, like the player's speed and the player's health and damage, sorry, one second, into a function, a loading function called player.load. And the reason for this is, like, let's say you're jumping from platform to platform, right, and you fall off, and you want to reset the player, you can just player.load, and all the variables will immediately just swipe clean and reset. Also, it just looks more organized. It's always, I just like things to look neat, and you should too. So we're going to put all of our variables inside of player.load, and we're only going to use like 10 maybe. And I'm going to type in some right now, but I'm going to forget probably more than half. So we're going to say player.x, because I don't plan any of these. We're going to set player.x and player.y to 5. So this is going to be the x and y positions of the player. Whoa, Gage, I didn't know. We're going to set the x velocity, because we're going to have smooth player movement. And the y velocity, we're just going to make him look a little neater, because when you don't have velocities, it feels very, very blocky, I guess. I don't know. I just don't like it. Oh god. There's something on the mic and I'm afraid. Okay. Get focus, Gauge. That was one mistake. I'm going to set the friction. I'm going to set that to 7. And speed, which I'm just going to guess at like 2,250. And Gauge, got a text message. Okay, so we have that done. Now, the thing with functions outside of main.lua, for the most part, whatever's inside of them, like for this instance, we have all these variables being set, are not used until the function is executed. So we're going to need to execute player.load. And to do that, you have to take it into main.lua and load it inside of love.load. And to make things look more organized in your love file, we're going to do a comment by doing 2 subtraction marks. Subtraction marks. I can't speak today, you're welcome. And then we're just going to say loading classes to help me and you know exactly what's going on down here at the bottom of love.load. We're going to type in player.load. And the reason for that the comment is because we're probably going to have more of these functions, such as if we added bullets, we're going to have bullet.load and stuff like that. But that's all we need to do. And also, the one last thing we're going to do with main.lua, or not really, but is somebody, okay. We're going to need to require the folder we just made for the player. So we're going to type in require player, and this just makes main.lua know that player.lua exists. And that's the basics of that. So player.load, you got all that. Okay. So now we can start working with these variables. How do we do that? We're going to start with drawing the player. We're going to do function player.draw. And inside of here, we're going to display a rectangle that is red. So we want it to be red. I want it to be red. You can make it be whatever, but to do that, we're going to do love.graphics.setColor. Okay, I'm going to set mine to red, like I just said 45 billion times. So turn the red all the way up to 255 and everything else down. You can mess around with those numbers if you want and change the color. Does not really matter. And then we're going to make a rectangle, which is always fun. So love.graphics.rectangle is also really helpful if you're just trying to like make a prototype game real quick to test a certain mechanic or whatever. There's a few things that you have to type. There are more things that you have to type in to make a rectangle than there are to just draw a .png of a rectangle, but it's just more helpful because you don't have to open up GIMP or whatever and then do that and then export it and then drop it in your. So first argument that you have to fill in whatever you want to say. You have to do a string and it has to be line or fill. And if you do line, it'll just be an outline of a rectangle. If you do fill, it'll be like a solid rectangle. So we're gonna do fill. And you can do like fill and then draw a line around it. You can do anything you want. So we're going to do fill, and then the next one is the x, which we have up here. It's player.x. The next one is the y, player.y, and then the width, which we didn't set. One of those variables I knew I was going to forget. Player.width, we're going to set the width to 50, and the player.height to 50. So then fill x, y, width, and then height. So now we have a rectangle. And if you started the game right now, which I'm going to, we're probably going to get an error. And then we're going to be like, fix it, and then we're going to run it again, and we're probably going to get another error. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, guys. I should probably start planning these. Run, run, run. Oh, we didn't, I know what's going on. We did not put the functions from player.lua into main.lua. So something I like to do to keep everything organized, because something I want to teach you guys in this is organization too, is at the end of every file like this, where it's kind of like a library or a class or an object, something where there's like a bunch of functions and it's an item in the game that you have to control or whatever, I like to do kind of its own little draw update thing, where I like to, at the end, so let's say we have like player.move and player.velocity. You don't have to type that in. So at the end of it, below all the functions that we use, we're going to do function, and then all caps, update underscore player, and then in parentheses dt, end, and then below that, function draw underscore player. And this may seem a little bit confusing right now because I've never done this before. But everything that we use in here to draw stuff, like player.draw, we're going to put inside of draw. And everything we use to update, such as if we had player.move or player.velocity, we would put into update player because it uses math. And then we would put these two, function update and draw, into main.lua, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to love that update underscore player, dt, and then draw underscore player, just to make it so like we could just put update underscore player, or we could do move, I don't know, physics, jump, you know, all that, or we just put one function that contains all of them, which is just more organizing, and I haven't noticed any downsides to it, so only upsides, and it seems easier. And it kind of also, if you have like a million functions inside of your file, you can go down here and it's kind of like you can see, oh, okay, player.move is below player.jump and above player.shoot. Now I can find it easier or whatever. And this is going to be the end of this tutorial. Next one we're going to do, what are we going to do? We're going to do movement and not jumping yet, and gravity maybe. All those fancy physics, but from now on it's going to be easier because we got the game all set up now, and this is the only boring one. The rest of them should be fun. Yeah, yay. Follow me on Twitter, monkeybacon. Add me on Skype and I can help you out. We can make the game together. Let's collaborate. Email me at gage@sockmonkey.com. What other plugs could I use? We haven't really updated the website in a while, sockmonkey.com. If you're into indie games, I found there's this awesome website by this guy named Josh Mattingly. I'm pretty sure that's his name. And he does Indie Static, which is like this really cool show that you should go check out. And he hasn't talked to me or anything. I just thought I should tell you guys because I know you guys are into indie games. And he has this website called indiestatic.com, and it is like oh my god, it's my homepage. Like, look, I'll open up Google Chrome right now, and I'll open up indiestatic.com, and that website is like, it's so awesome, and I've gotten so many awesome games from there. So that's it for this tutorial. So go and watch the next one. I'll see you next time.